What's up, everyone? We're going to be going to the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 21 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got one pick wrong and got 21 right, which is a 97% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 97% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 97% win rate and get 21 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,185 just yesterday. Another member who won $600 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. Also want to give a quick shout out to Soul Gitman, who said, I love that you gave over, so shouts out to him. Also shouts out to Michael Garcia T9V, who said, as always, love the analytics, good luck everyone. And shouts out to James Will, who said, let's go, grateful for everything you keep sharing, stay consistent, implying what I learned here has really made a difference. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. So getting into the first pick, we're going to be talking about none other than Britney Sykes. So as you all know, Britney Sykes, great player, and this one is a fantastic one for 4.5 assists, and this one actually is for less. So looking at Britney Sykes, we have actually seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, you see on June 9th faced off against Connecticut, had 6 assists there. Then June 16th faced off against Atlanta, actually had 3 assists in that matchup. Then June 18th faced off against Chicago Sky, had 5 assists there. Then 8 assists against Atlanta on June 21st, and faced off against Dallas where she had 4 assists, and that was on June 23rd. So like I mentioned, she has gone on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games, and her average over the last 5 is actually 5.2. Now, when we look at someone like Britney Sykes, we do know that Washington face off against none other than Las Vegas Aces. Now, it's definitely going to be an exciting game, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, we do know Washington Mystics do rank 9th in the actual WNBA with 7 wins and 8 losses. So they have a 46.7% win percentage. They actually have a 5-3 record at home, 2-5 record away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So it's definitely been pretty good for Britney Sykes and Washington, but they are still looking to hope to turn this season around for them. But when we look at the other side of the table, we do see Las Vegas Aces have a bit of a better record in a sense that they currently rank 7th in WNBA, but also have 7 wins, but only 7 losses. So that puts them at a 50% win rate. Those are 5-3 at home, 2-4 at away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak as well. So, you know, definitely both of these teams have been stringing along some win streaks, but looking at Britney Sykes, we do see that Las Vegas Aces do actually rank when it comes to assists allowed. They do rank 12th. So they rank pretty low. However, the reason why we do like the under for this situation here is that Britney Sykes is a guard, and what we have seen during this season so far, we have seen Aces actually do a fantastic job at restricting assists to the guard position. And for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Britney Sykes going on the under due to that. And when we also look further, you also are expecting, you know, Las Vegas Aces, because they do a great job against guards, you know, we think that is going to naturally have Britney Sykes go on the under. Now, even the time Britney has gone on the under as well, it's actually against tougher defensive teams. So we definitely have seen Britney Sykes kind of, I would say, shelter herself in certain situations in a sense of against better defensive teams. She definitely tends to struggle, and that's what we are expecting coming into this game as well. So for that reason, we do very much like the under, and we definitely are sticking to it. So Britney Sykes, 4.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Chelsea Gray. So, Chelsea Gray, another great player from none other than Las Vegas Aces, however, so other side of this matchup. But this one is for 12.5 points, and this one is for less. Now, obviously, guys, there may be some overlaps in a sense of the games of the picks, because there is only 2 WNBA games for today. But looking at Chelsea Gray, 12.5 points, like I mentioned, for the under. Now, we have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, you see on June 16th, faced off against Phoenix, had 20 points there. June 18th, faced off against Minnesota, had 9 points. June 21st, faced off against Seattle, had 7 points. June 23rd, faced off against Indiana, had 18 points. And then 15 points against Connecticut on June 26th. So we definitely have seen, Chelsea Gray go on the under, like I mentioned, in 2 out of the last 5 games. But our average over the last 5 is also 13.8. So slightly just above this line, but nothing really too convincing enough to us there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know that Chelsea Gray and the Las Vegas Aces face off against Washington Mystics. That's definitely going to be an exciting game, no doubt about it. But looking at this matchup, we do know that, Aces do rank pretty decent, I would say. They rank 7th in the WNBA. Mystics rank 9th. Aces have a 7-7 record. Mystics have a 7-8 record. But looking at Washington Mystics defensively, we do know that Mystics do rank when it comes to points allowed. They do rank 8th. So they rank pretty mid-tier. Definitely nothing too crazy, but definitely nothing too terrible, I would say. So very, very mid-tier in that sense. But when we look on a per position basis, what we do see is that Chelsea Gray is a guard, and Washington Mystics actually do a fantastic job at restricting, points to the guard position. And that's where we are expecting to see someone like Chelsea Gray struggle there. We definitely do like the under for this situation due to those reasons. And when you also look at Chelsea Gray even further, we also have noticed that her usage rate in the points department, yes, she may have gone on the over in some of those games, but I do believe that 20-point game against Phoenix was a little bit of an outlier game. It's brought this line a little bit too high that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. Now, when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies kind of agree with us as well, because the bookies have her favored for the under as well. So it works out in our favor there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for someone like Chelsea Gray coming into this matchup. It's definitely going to be an exciting game, but we definitely see her going on the under there. So Chelsea Gray, 12.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So next player we're going to be talking about is none other than Aliyah Boston. So as you all know, Aliyah Boston, great player. Now this one is a fantastic one because as you all know, Aliyah Boston, is going to be facing off against Los Angeles Sparks. But this one is for rebounds, for actually 8.5 rebounds. And this one actually is for less. So, looking at actually this one's an interesting one here. Now, looking at Aliyah Boston, we have seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on June 15th, faced off against New York Liberty, actually had 11 points there. After that, actually faced off against none other than Connecticut Sun, had 9 rebounds on June 18th. Then, June 20th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, had 12 rebounds there. After that, faced off against Las Vegas Aces, had 10 rebounds, and also on June 23rd. And then moving on from that, also against Seattle on June 25th, had 8 rebounds. So we did see her go on the under in the most recent game. Now, her average over the last 5 is also 10, so slightly above this line. But if we look at the matchup, we do know Indiana face off against Los Angeles Sparks. Now, looking at this matchup more in depth, we do know Indiana Fever do actually rank 8th in the WNBA. They have 7 wins, 7 losses. They have a 50% win percentage, and they also have a 4-3 record at home, 3-4 record from away, and also are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know that they face off against Los Angeles Sparks, and Sparks on the other side actually have a 4-win, 11-loss record. Now they have a 26.7% win percentage, also 1-6 from home, 3-5 from away, and also are currently on a 4-game losing streak. So it's definitely been a bit tough there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know that Aliyah Boston face off against the Sparks, but looking at the Sparks defensively, we do know that Los Angeles Sparks do actually rank 4th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So, to everyone's surprise, Los Angeles Sparks are actually a very, very good rebounding team. They restrict quite a lot of rebounds, and for that reason, we are expecting the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Aliyah Boston going on the under due to that situation. Now, when we look at her actual stats, yes, she has been doing very well in the rebounding, don't get me wrong. However, she has faced off against some easier rebounding teams. Now that she does face off against the Sparks, we are expecting a different sort of outcome, and the fact that Sparks also do a fantastic job at restricting points to the rebounding position, we definitely see, unfortunately, Aliyah Boston struggling in that situation. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this situation here. I definitely would, stick to it, as when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have her favored for the under as well. So Aliyah Boston, 8.5 rebounds for less, I think is an absolute fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player going to be talking about is none other than Natasha Howard. So as you all know, Natasha Howard is a fantastic player from none other than Indiana Fever, and she has done a fantastic job so far this season, because we've actually seen her average 10.8 points, 6.3 rebounds, 0.8 assists, and 0.9 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when it comes to Indiana Fever, as we all know, they do have themselves a very, very good matchup against the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, looking at both of these teams, just to remind you, we do know that Indiana Fever do come in at the 8th spot with a 7-win, 7-loss record. They have a 50% win percentage and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So they are hoping to push that to 2. Now, looking at the other side of the table, we do see Los Angeles Sparks on a little bit of a different level, because they are in the Western Conference, but they actually rank also 11th in the WNBA. They have 4 wins, 11 losses, so it hasn't really been too good for them. And they also have a 26.7% win percentage, so it's definitely been tough there. Now, Sparks are currently on a 4-game losing streak as well. They aren't hoping to, have it be 5, but they are going to try to push and try to get this win here. But it is definitely still going to be an exciting game between both of these teams. Now, looking at Los Angeles Sparks defensively, we do know Sparks do rank when it comes to points allowed. They rank 11th. Assists allowed, they also rank 11th. And then also rebounds allowed, we also do know that they rank 4th. So we have actually seen them, do a pretty poor job at points and assists, a little bit better in rebounds. But coming into this game, we do actually like, the under for this situation here for someone like Natasha Howard, but strictly just for rebounds. Now, a big reason being is that when we look at, Sparks, like I mentioned, they do rank very high when it comes to rebounds allowed. They do rank 4th, but on top of that, they also do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to Natasha Howard's position as well, which is a forward position. So we definitely see someone like her struggling there. Now, Natasha Howard is a great player, do not get me wrong, but we definitely are expecting her usage rate to be a little bit on the lower side, since Sparks do have a pretty good handle at restricting rebounds, and we definitely see that affecting someone like Natasha Howard on a per position basis. Now, looking at Natasha over the last 5 games, she's definitely had some big games and other games not so well, but we see she faced off against New York Liberty, most recently had a 102-88 victory, where she actually had 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists there. And faced off against Connecticut, had an 88-71 victory with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 0 assists. After that, faced off against Golden State Valkyries with an 88-77 loss with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then faced off against the Las Vegas Aces with an 89-81 loss with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. And then faced off against Seattle, had 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 0 assists there. So we definitely have seen Natasha Howard go on the under at most of the rebounding line. Other games has gone on the over. So it's definitely a bit of a mix of the two. But like we always mentioned, it is based off a per position basis. And coming into this game, we do very much like, the under for someone like Natasha Howard. But like I mentioned, strictly just for rebounds. So just focus on rebounds for someone like Natasha Howard. We definitely see her going on the under there, especially if the line is too close to her averages. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Jewell Loyd. So, Jewell Loyd, as we all know, fantastic player from Las Vegas Aces. Now, we have seen her do a fantastic job, during the regular season, but we have actually seen Jewell Loyd, average 11.5 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and also 1 steal. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, looking at someone like Jewell Loyd, we also do know that, she's definitely played, a lot of games for the Aces, but the Aces haven't really gotten a string along a lot of wins because they do have a pretty, mid-tier record. But looking at their matchup, first of all, we do know that the Aces face off against the Washington Mystics. It is definitely going to be an exciting game. Now, looking at the Aces, they haven't done too bad, but definitely not many people were expecting them to be in this position, but they currently rank 7th in the WNBA. So not too bad, pretty mid-tier. They have 7 wins and 7 losses, a 50% win rate, and they also have a 2-game win streak so far. So they are hoping to, make it into that top 5, and they continue to push for it. And they face off against the Mystics, who do have somewhat of a similar record, even though they do rank 9th, but they have 7 wins and 8 losses. So somewhat a similar record there. They have a 46.7% win percentage and are also on a 2-game win streak. So one of these teams is going to leave away with a 3-game win streak, and one of their streaks is going to be ending in one of these teams. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game and matchup from that angle. But looking at Las Vegas Aces and their matchup against Mystics, we do know that Washington Mystics do rank when it comes to points allowed. They rank 8th. Moving on to assists allowed, we also do see that the Mystics rank a little bit better as they rank 4th, and they also rank 2nd when it comes to rebounds allowed. Now, for someone like Jewell Loyd, we do actually like the under for this position because we are strictly looking at just rebounds and assists. Now, the fact that Mystics do a fantastic job against rebounds and assists, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Jewell Loyd going on the under due to that situation, but like I mentioned, definitely keep an eye out more closely on rebounds and assists due to those reasons. Now, looking at someone like Jewell Loyd over the last 5 games, she's definitely played some pretty big games. She faced off against Phoenix, had a 76-70 loss. She had 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, faced off against Minnesota Lynx with a 76-62 loss, had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Then faced off against Seattle with a 90-93 loss with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Then against Indiana with a 10-point, 5 rebound, 5 assist performance with an 89-81 victory over Fever. And then faced off against Connecticut Sun with an 85-59 victory with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So we definitely have seen Jewell Loyd, kind of go on the under at times. Other times it's gone on the over. But like I always mentioned, it's definitely off a per position basis. And now they do face off against the Mystics. So because Mystics do rank a little bit higher in rebounds and assists, we definitely see someone like Jewell Loyd going on the under there. So keep an eye out for Jewell Loyd's line. I see a lot of value there to go on the under, especially if the line is too close to her averages. Now getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about Shey Peddy. So Shey Peddy, great player for Los Angeles Sparks. Now, she's done a fantastic job so far this season. She's actually averaged 5.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 0.5 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now that she does face off, or the Los Angeles Sparks do face off against Indiana Fever, as we do know. Now, just to remind you all real quickly again, we do know that the Sparks do rank 11th with a 4-win, 11-loss record. And on top of that, they face off against Indiana Fever, who have a 7-7 record and also rank 8th. But looking at Indiana defensively, however, we do see that Indiana Fever do actually rank 6th when it comes to points allowed, 1st when it comes to assists allowed, and 3rd when it comes to rebounds allowed. Now, for someone like Shey, we do actually like the under for this situation here, but strictly just for rebounds and assists. Now, a big reason being is that coming into this game, Indiana Fever are definitely going to continue to do a fantastic job in those 2 departments. With someone like Shey Peddy, who doesn't really have the highest usage rate in those 2 departments, we definitely see her having a biggest hit in her usage rate in those 2 departments as well. So that's a big reason why we do like the under and strictly just for rebounds and assists coming into this game. Now, looking at Shey Peddy over the last, 5 matchups, but only looking at the last 4, she has played only 4 lately. Now, we do see on the 15th, faced off against Minnesota, had a 101-78 loss with 3 points, 1 rebound, and also 2 assists there. Then faced off against Seattle, had a 98-67 loss with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and then faced off against Minnesota on 82-66 loss, had 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. And against Chicago, had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. So we have seen at times when Shey Peddy does face off against a tougher defensive team, we have definitely seen her struggle in the rebounding and assist department. A great example of that is the Minnesota Lynx games. We see that she did go under on her rebound and assist line, and we do know Lynx are a great defensive team in those 2 categories, and that's where we definitely saw her going the under. So we are expecting a similar sort of outcome coming into this next game, no doubt about it. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for someone like Shey Peddy, especially for the under. But like I mentioned, keep an eye out for those 2 lines. I see a lot more value there to go on the under, especially the line is too close to our averages. So rebounds and assists, keep an eye out for those. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Sug Sutton. So Sug Sutton, great player, as we all know, for none other than the Washington Mystics. Now, she's done a fantastic job so far this season because we've actually seen her do a great job averaging 6.3 points, 1.7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.1 steals. So she's definitely, done a great job throughout the regular season. And as we do know, Washington Mystics do face off against the Las Vegas Aces. Now, it's definitely going to be an exciting game. And looking at this matchup, we do know that Mystics, Aces, the way where they do rank WNBA wise, we do see Mystics ranking 9th with a 7-win, 8-loss record, and then Aces have a 7-7 record and rank 7th, so somewhat similar record there. Now, when we look at this even further, we also do see that Sug Sutton has definitely played the most recent games and has definitely had some big games. Other games hasn't really played so well. But looking at the Aces defensively first, we do know that Aces do rank when it comes to points allowed. They actually rank 9th. When it comes to assists allowed, they also rank pretty low. They rank 12th and then rank 11th when it comes to rebounds allowed. Now, like I mentioned, Sug Sutton has definitely done, had some big games. Other games hasn't really done so well. But coming to this matchup against the Aces, we definitely like the over for someone like Sug Sutton. Now, I don't really think you need to focus on any of these categories. I don't think you need to focus on any. I think she definitely has a capability to definitely go on the over in any one of these due to the fact that she is just such a big time player in a sense that she's very efficient out there. Even though her usage rate isn't the highest, we definitely see her be very efficient, especially against easier defensive teams. So, because of that, we do like the over for these situations here. Of course, her line isn't really the highest, so we aren't expecting a massive line to come out for it. But like I always mentioned, if the line is under averages, and definitely look to go on the over. But looking at her last 5 games, you see her faced off against Atlanta, had an 89-56 loss, had 2 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists there. Then faced off against Chicago, had a 79-72 victory, had 7 points, 0 rebounds, and 6 assists. And faced off against Atlanta, had a 92-91 loss with 7 points, 5 rebounds, and also 3 assists. And then faced off against Dallas with a 91-88 win. In overtime, had 4 rebounds, 15 points, and also 3 assists there. Then faced off against Minnesota with a 68-64 win with 12 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Sug Sutton, like I mentioned, some games she does really well. Other games hasn't really done too well. But like I mentioned, the Aces are just going to be such an easy team. No disrespect to them. But I do very much think Sug Sutton is going to be able to take advantage of that and, get some buckets, get some rebounds, and also get some assists. But like I mentioned, her line may not be that high. But if it is under averages, then definitely look to go on the over.